Hello, good evening. Well, it's time for your second instalment of the one-day special, and we have two options for you. But first, Hayley Smith is in the building. Hey, Hayley.
I'm over here now. Got a table.
You got your table. Yeah. So we changed it just so we've got more room.
Yeah, we were struggling in the last one a little bit, weren't we? We didn't give ourselves enough space.
No.
So, but it's better now.
Yeah, so we tried.
Got to have a go, haven't you?
Yeah, lovely. Right, one-day special time. You've got two options. What you are getting, you will always get the heart, the cloud, and the oval loom frame. You know what it is? I keep wanting to say frame loom.
If you want to, you just crack on.
I think I might just do that. You know what I mean. So you're going to get those shapes. Then you're going to get a nice mixture of like natural
those shapes.
Those shapes.
Yes. So whenever we do the weaving, the naturals are always the most popular colours. So we decided to put a naturals bundle with it. Now, it does say colours may vary. It just means the actual yarns themselves may vary slightly. So you may get, it'll still be those same kinds of colours, the kind of greys, the beiges, the browns, the creams, the whites, all of those same kind of tones, just the actual yarns themselves may vary slightly.
Lovely. And then in terms of options, what you've got is your rust and your brown in the chunky. You'll get 250 grams, they're 250 grams each.
Yes, they are, and these are beautiful. They're like a man-made roving. That's what they feel like. They feel like the roving, but they feel so soft. They're like merino roving, but it's a acrylic polyester mix that actually creates them, which means that they are hypoallergenic. So some people who can't use the rovings and things because they're allergic to wool. So that's brilliant. And they're just so easy to use.
Nice.
So easy to use. Because sometimes when you get roving, it'll kind of come apart on you as you're trying to weave it in. And this is just a lot easier to use.
Excellent. So that is your first option, your rust and your brown. Or your second option is your rust and your grey. Lovely. I really want to put this on my head. Anyway, wear it as hair. Oh yes, of course. Don't forget, we've also got the weaving book itself. Shall I have a little flick through? Excellent. So we were saying yours will come bound.
Yes, yours will come bound, but for the life of me, I could not get, I've tried 3 different computers. Yeah. I could not get it to print out. And yours will print out the right way up and everything.
Oh, good.
But I could not get it to print out the right way up. So we've done it as single pages so that it's a bit easier for Alex to flick through.
Yes, that's
and
good.
You're getting, obviously, your glossary, so you understand all of the weaving terms. You're getting how to start off, how to dress your loom. You're getting information about tension, and how best to work with that, and tension for different threads as well, because if you're working with a thinner thread, then how you load the loom is different to how you would load it for the roving and the chunkier threads.
Fabulous.
So there's all that information in there, using different materials, because obviously we've got yarn included in the bundles, but you can use fabric, and you can use roving, you can use all sorts of different bits and pieces in there. Weaving is literally the mixed media art. You can chuck anything at it. You've got finishing, so how to get the pieces off the looms once you are done. That's more finishing.
Hang on, sorry. Embellishments.
And then this is embellishment. So this is where you're adding all of your extra bits and pieces into it. So we've got a couple of samples over here where they've had bits sewn into them. We've got all the top tips, things like using the Heddle bars and things like that within your work to make life a little bit easier. And then we've got about 6 or 7 weaving stitches themselves. So, the 9, there you go, even better. You've got 9 of those, and then you've got about 8 of the different weaves. So we've taken you right from the basics through to the twills, and you can see there, just as you're quickly whipping through them, how the patterns kind of change.
Yeah, they're good.
As you go through them. So
there you go.
Lots and lots of information in there to get you started.
Yeah, marvellous. You've got a £31 saving. You can spread the cost, 2 payments of £24.97. We've got a fab sample over here that's really pretty because, I mean, I love the colours that have been used, and then even adding, look, some die cuts around the oval.
And that's using some of the Spanish lace techniques that are in the book, where you're actually kind of creating almost like a lace effect and holes and patterns within your weave.
I really like that. And they've put either rice paper, I think it's rice paper around it. That looks really pretty. So you can leave it in the frame.
If you want to leave them on the frame and you want to use them as a piece of kind of artwork in their own right, you can absolutely leave them on the frame. But there is information within the book if you want to take them off and reuse the frames.
Nice. And then we've got the cloud version. Adding beads, how wonderful is this? It's great,
it's like
isn't
raindrops on the bottom. Or if you wanted to maybe use the raya knots that we showed in the earlier hour to make it look like rain was coming off it.
It's brilliant, that.
You can have real fun with these.
Nice. Right then, so your item number is 641147. We have got some loom frames individually. Right, I'm gonna test myself. I'm gonna be without Charlotte in my ear. Right, so we've got a diamond, circle, oval, cloud, square, octagon,
Have you ever done children's telly?
hexagon, heart, star, and rectangle.
Am
I
I
have passed the
distracting
test,
you?
and that was quite funny because Hayley, I don't know if you heard her, she said, have you ever done children's television? I think I'd be all right on it, to be quite fair. I think I'd be all right
It
on
looks
it.
like you know all your shapes, and that's a good start.
I did pause on the octagon though. Right, so each option there is £12.99 under the same item number 012049. And then we've got our pick and mix on the Funky Chunky. Again, you're getting two 250-gram balls of yarn, or hanks as you called them.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're getting two of those, and that you could choose two of the same colour or one colour, one
you can do different colours.
Yeah.
So if maybe your kind of colours are the pinks, then you could go for maybe there's a really light one which is I think we've called nude.
Yeah.
And then there's a light pink, like a blush pink as well. So you could kind of mix those in. Maybe you're looking to do something that is more rustic and more natural looking. So then the stones and the greys and the olives are really nice. There's so many. We've got loads of colours.
Yeah,
loads of colours.
£16.98 for any two. Item number 683012. Now have a look on the website to see those. Oh, I like the way they've been entwined on the website. They look nice, don't they? How they've been put together.
And these are.
I like that pink and grey mix.
Yeah, that one's beautiful. And there's pink and purple, I think pink and purple or pink and red mix as well, which are really, really pretty ones. Now, you can knit with these if you're a knitter or if you're a crocheter. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Or you crochet? I don't know where I'm going. But you can knit and crochet with these as well. Obviously, you know, pretty big, chunky needles you're going to need to be able to do it. But you absolutely can. And they go together so nicely. It's much easier than if you've had the wool roving sometimes, where you maybe you've tried to knit or crochet with that. This just holds together that little bit better when you're actually trying to work with it. Once it's together, then it's lovely and soft and it's absolutely beautiful. And you also tend to get it in longer strands as well. So it's really, really nice and easy to work with.
Marvellous. Right, then we've got a weaving bundle, but this time it's fabric. So you might get some chiffon, some satin. You'll get 800 grams of lovely, lovely fabrics. This is going to be dispatched from the 21st.
Yes, just the supply that we get it from, unfortunately, is closed on holiday for a week. So it's just going to take a little bit longer because, as we said, this was supposed to be a week or so later.
Yeah,
but things happen, things move around, we work around it.
Yeah, I should just say then that the other items that we've seen, because I think I forgot to say it, the one-day special is going to be dispatched from the 19th. But anyway, feast your eyes through here. Some might have patterns on, like so. Yeah, beautiful. £9.99 then for the whole set. This one still, I can look at it and I still think tights. I really thought that was a pair of tights in there, but it's not. It's not. £9.99.
Will you behave yourself today, please?
It's because it's getting late. 710924 is the item number. Do you know what? If you've got any questions about weaving, please feel free to send your questions to studio@hochanda.com or pop it on Facebook. Over to you, Hayley.
I've had enough now. Over to you.
Over to you.
I've done enough of my work for now. It's your turn. Okay, so what we've brought to you is we've brought to you something quite different. So the frames that you usually get for weaving will be either rectangular or square. So what you will, usually end up with is something rectangular or something square. But what we've done is we've brought you shaped weaving looms. So I've got the heart one here, and this is from the one-day special. Now they're all set up and, very cleverly marked out with the holes in there. So all of your lines are always going to be straight, because that's one of the most difficult things to do if you are making a shaped loom, is to get it so all of your lines, all of your warp threads are nice and parallel. So you've got a couple of different options with the shaped looms. You can either kind of weave in and out all the way up and down, and then use your little comb to bat down all of your bits and make it kind of shaped that way. Or, as you can see, I've started at the bottom here and I'm weaving just those first 3 or 4 strands at the bottom.
Right.
And then I've actually started at the top and then come down a couple, and then I'm going to come back up just to lock all of that in place, and then just continue going back and forth. And as you kind of bat that and push that down, the tighter that it gets, the kind of next, you're going to kind of make that tight enough so that you can get those next 2 in from the next row. And then you'll do a couple of rows at that, and then you'll again bat it down, and then come along and you'll be able to get the next 2 in and just work your way up like that. So that's the way that we're going to do with this one. Yeah. But we've done various different ones. Now, we did have a look at the previous hour at the Heddle Looms. Now, the Heddle sticks. These are, they're slightly more difficult to use with these ones, just because, especially with the shaped ones, sometimes there's not quite as much space to get in. And I've actually got the double threaded one on here, because all of these looms, we've put your holes to put your warp threads in quite tightly together. And that's because they are more shaped, they're a little bit more it's the next step on for weaving, really. So we've given you ones that kind of have a little bit more to them. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to get enough to turn this one. No, I've gone a little bit tight on my threads. It would if, can you see there how it's popping onto each alternate one as I'm turning it up? Now, if I hadn't done this quite so tight, then yes, I would be able to use this with this particular loom. But with your Heddle bars, you're getting 3. So on one like this, where it's got quite tight ones together, what's restricting me is these last kind of 2 here, because you need enough space to turn that all the way up. And you can see, I can kind of get it there, and you can see them starting to move, but I can't get it all the way up for it to sit properly. So I'm going to take that one out. But that's the one I would use on a weave that's that tight. I would use this one with more of the pieces in. But we'll come back to these when we go on to the other loom. We'll have a little bit of a play with this one first. So, oh, I'm in a knot already. Hasn't taken long, has it? So I'm going to pull a bit more of this through. And often it's easier to work a little bit higher up. Yeah. And then kind of push it back down. So I'm just going to want one more over the front of that middle one, just because I want a nice, nice coverage over that edge bit at the bottom. So I'm going to tighten some of this up, and then I'm going to go ahead and bat all this down, right down to the bottom. And I just want to make sure I've left you can see I've left a couple of bubbles in there, because we talked about bubbling in the previous one. So I've left a couple of bubbles there, just so that when we kind of come on back to it a little bit later, and we're putting more and more layers in here, that I've got that little bit of room, so I don't create that hourglass effect where those threads start pulling in because your tension's a little bit too tight. So I'm happy with that down there. And then when I weave the rest of these in, I'm still working on just my 3 threads in the centre at the minute. I'm just working on that middle bit. Yeah.
What type of yarn are you using, Hayley?
This is one from the Brights option. They're all so different, and they're all kind of so, we try and pick the kind of most interesting ones that we can, and they're all 100-gram balls. So absolutely, if you wanted to knit or crochet something with them using a smaller amount, using 100 grams, you absolutely could. There's no reason why you couldn't use it for knitting or crochet. It's just we found it as a nice option for weaving. So I'm coming through 5 strands now. So I've come along with my 3, and I'm just starting to work my way up. But as I said, it's a lot easier to kind of work up where you can see what you're doing, and then once you are ready, then beat it all back down. Because especially with these shaped looms, because it is a little bit more complex, because you're not just having to deal with the shapes that you want to create in terms of the weaving, you're having to deal with the shapes on the outside of the frame as well. I'm going to cut this one off because I'm getting it caught in my other. I just left that as a bit of a tail, so we had something to tie onto a little bit later. So I'm creating my weaving up here, and then using your little combs or just your fingers, you can then bat that down, and you can see it's starting to kind of fill its way up there. So if I'll use the rest of this, and then I'll swap to a different colour.
Okay.
And we'll just simply, I mean, stripes is the simplest thing you can do, because all you're doing is back and forth, back and forth. You see, I've left this tail out here, and this is the tail that we started with at the bottom. But rather than having that tail right at the bottom where it was going to be difficult to deal with, I've actually started a couple of rows up, went down, and then back up to do that. So I'm going to push that through to the back, but I'm going to hang on to it, because we can use that to tie off to the other bit and secure it once we've finished with the other end of this piece here that I've got on the needle at the minute. So I'm going to leave it out the way for the minute, and we'll come back to that. So we're still working on 5. So 1, so over that one, under, over, under, and that'll be off 5. And then I think 1 more row at 5, and then we'll probably be able to move on to 6 or 7.
Quite relaxing,
you always want to
isn't it?
work in odd numbers on this, because obviously the shape of the heart, the way it's worked out is you get 1 thread running in that centre bit. So you want to run 1, then 3, whoops, then 5. Is that 5? Yes, it is. Then 7, and kind of work your way out, because we're working in a nice square. So a square. We're working nice and evenly as stripes. So you can see the extra bits that I've got here from the bubbling that I've left initially. Now you can, if you think they're too big, just kind of, you know, move them about and smooth them back in. But as you work it more and more, and as you bat those down, they're gonna just kind of disappear into the rest of it, so I wouldn't worry. Now this one I'm also working, so I'm gonna leave it on the frame. So I'm going right to the very edges. If I was gonna take this off the frame, then I would actually work a little bit higher up, and I would leave, let me just slide this back up for you. There you go. So I would actually start it there.
Right.
So you see I've left myself about 1 inch or so, just really the width of the edge of the frame, possibly a bit more if you're bit worried about tying really tiny knots, because to get the tension on these shaped frames and to keep the shape once you take it off the frame, it needs to be chunkier, and you really need to take these off and tie them. So in your weaving book, there's a whole section on finishing. If you have a look at the tying section, then that's what you need to look at for this. And to make sure you keep that kind of stopgap space between the holes and the edge of where you're going to start weaving, what it's quite nice to, well, what traditionally is done is just even kitchen roll.
Oh yeah.
Kitchen roll, folded up into like a nice little chunky strip and woven in and out, down here and up here, just to hold it away from those edges. So you weave and you bat it down up to where the kitchen roll is, and that stops it sliding all the way down and leaves you those strings to be able to cut it off and tie it off.
It's because it sparked something in my mind about kitchen roll.
Kitchen roll story.
Because I weave. I weave. I always tell a little story, don't I? I weave kitchen roll in and out of my toes so I can paint my toenails.
Just like that. Just like that,
Yes.
but with wool and stuff.
Sorry, Hayley.
It's okay, you crack on. I quite like a little Alex story. Any other nuggets you'd like to share with us today?
I'm sure something you'll say will prompt me to give another story.
So, right, let me just get the last of this one in, and then I'll show you tying these extra bits off. This one we'll work on throughout the hours that we've got, and because I know we've got some more hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, the little wooden needles, I don't think they actually come with the one-day special, but having said that, they do come with the starter bundle, and you get 6 in with the starter loom bundle. Oh, I've just been up that one. I need to go up the next one. There we go.
This one. It's like
Right.
you're on a harp.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is as simple as that with your plain weaves. You're just in and out and in and out. And if you're just wanting to create something quite, say you wanted to make them into placemats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, dead simple. And again, the biggest thing you need to watch out for with this is tension. So I'm just going to put a little bit extra on that edge,
Yeah.
so that I make sure it stays nice and even in its tension. And you can see that's starting to come together now. That's my spare bit that I had, which I want to use to tie off with at the back. Now, when you're getting rid of the tails like this, I'll just push this one through to the back to start us off with. There you go. So you can either put a bodkin or a fairly big-eyed needle on there and actually just stitch it into the bits at the back, or if you have a longer tail on them, then you can just simply tie them off. And it's quite
is that how you finish it off?
It's quite handy to keep some tails sometimes just to tie them off. But when you do tie them off, you want your knot to be tight,
But not.
but not pulling against there.
Yeah.
So I've pulled that in the centre there, so I've got a nice tight knot, but it's actually not pulling. If I flip it over again, you can see it's not pulling in on any of my warp threads there, because they're still staying nice and flat. So it's a really nice way to just take weaving to that next level, because you are able to create shaped pieces which will stay that shape when you take them off your loom.
That's so cool. Can I ask you, where did you get your knowledge of weaving from?
Oh, all over the place.
Really?
All over the place. Well, yeah, there's a lot of it that you kind of pick up as you go along. There's a lot of it, we went out to the International Quilt Festival market.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
It always confuses me. We went to New Orleans after that and met a lady there and had a chat to her for hours about weaving. I'm going to, if it's okay with you, because I know we've got a lot to do and we're not going to get through everything, I'm going to leave that one day special one for the minute, and I'm going to hop onto some other stuff, but I need a minute or so just to set some bits up. Could you do some numbers for me?
I will indeed.
Thank you.
Then. So your one day special, you've got 2 options. In each option, you will get your loom frames. Frame looms. I don't know why I want to say that. Frame looms. Them. These, sorry, terrible grammar. Right, so you're going to get your heart, your cloud and your oval. You'll get a lovely mixture of your natural yarn bundles, and they'll vary slightly, but they'll have a natural feel to them. Then you'll also get your lovely weaving techniques book, and then this is when the options come into play. So you can either go for your rust and the grey, or you can go for the rust and the brown. Oh, that's Charlotte's favourite. Yeah, there you are. This, scarves, all sorts of things. That would be great. But obviously for your weaving as well. You've got a £31 saving on this. Shall I show these again? Because they're really, I really admire them. I think they're very clever. Whoops, hopefully I'm holding that okay. So there you go, it's like raindrops. Isn't that cool with the beads? And then the next one. Oh, she's got it, she's on it. There you go. That looks really pretty. That looks really good, doesn't it? And adding some die cuts and some rice paper on that. So you can spread the cost two payments of £24.97, or you can go for it outright at £49.93. It's going to be dispatched from the 19th of September. Item number is 641147. Next then, we've got the Funky Chunky, and you've got a nice pick and mix going on. There's so many here. I'm not going to knock it over. Charlotte's just said we don't think we've even got them all out because there's so many. Yeah, I'm looking for the... Is it hidden? Underneath in the middle, the pink and grey that I like.
That one, the hands on it.
Oh, I see. It's, do you know what? It's because I only saw the pink there. I really like this one. That's cool. And there's your pink and red. Can I say what you just said, Charlotte? Okay, I'll wait. Right then, so for any two, it's £16.98. You're getting two 250-gram balls each, or hanks as they're called. No, yes, that's right, isn't it?
Well, sorry, I was being distracted by naughty people.
I know, sorry if I'm chuckling a little bit. They're saying funny things in my ear. 683012 for any two.
It's the pink and purple one that's causing the hilarity.
No, it's the red and...
No, the red and pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Shall we
saying
share?
it looks like various body parts.
Yeah. Just brains. Innards. It is beautiful.
Innards? Did you just say innards?
Well, yeah. Sorry,
That's
it's getting
such an
late.
old-fashioned word.
No. Anyway, we do have a
So
weaving
if you want to
bundle.
weave with some innards.
Oh, we're sorry, we're being naughty. Right then, we have also got an 800-gram weaving bundle of fabrics this time. Contents will vary, but you might get some satin and some patterned fabrics. And look at that, really, really nice. Look, there's a big old stash in here, 800 grams worth. There you go. It's very good. So it is £9.99. Item number is 710924. Now, this is on a slightly longer extended delivery from the 21st of September. Now, you haven't seen this yet this hour. We've got the Loom Bundle that Hayley also mentioned. So what do we have here then, Hayley? Just different little loomy frames?
Yes, there are 5 loom frames.
Now we all do it.
5 looms.
Yeah.
There are 5 looms within there. You've got your big A3 size one, you've got your smaller A4 size one, and then you've got a coaster size one, and then you've got 2 that have got the notches on both the sides and the top and bottom.
Yeah.
And those ones are so you can make little pom-poms and things. I did have some samples of them over here. I appear to have buried them. No, I found one. Yay! I found 2.
I found 2.
Ha ha!
There you go.
This way. There we go.
They look really
so
nice.
These are really cute, and you can make just a completely different feel to your weaving by using these as well. So it's almost like cross stitch. I think this one was a tractor actually, again, that's done this one, and she's done. This is exactly how you make loads of tiny pom-poms, which is where you kind of thread it top to bottom, you thread it left to right, and then you stitch these little kind of crosses over those. Once you've stitched the little crosses in place, then in theory you can cut these off and create loads of tiny little pom-poms. So we've done it so you don't have to do it this small. You can obviously do it every second or third peg to create, you know, several pom-poms at once. But she's taken it further, and she's used that kind of cross-stitch effect to create little bits of embroidery in there as well. Yeah, that's really cute.
Nice.
But you can once you've put it together, they can be used for, you know, I mean, I think this would be quite cute on taking it off and just using it as a piece of fabric to make like a little pocket on, pocket on all sorts, on bags, on all sorts of bits and pieces. So really, really kind of full and incredibly sturdy. You'll be surprised at how kind of strong it is. once it's together like that. So just really, really cute. And you could absolutely just pop that off because it's all just looped around the top. She has looped around these edges, which you'd need to cut because I would normally just have looped around these bits, so you can pop it off. And then they could be used as coasters or decorations on other bits of fabric work that you can do.
That's ace. Now, so you've got options in terms of your yarns. These come with it, don't they? Yes, they do. So with this, you can either go for your brights, lovely, your naturals,
and the pastels
and
on the end.
pastels.
Oh,
I
we lost
see.
the ball.
We.
Oh, we'll find that later.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be fine.
You will get the full
You'll
set.
get 10,
Yes.
I promise.
Yeah. 38.
Bridget's on it.
Say
It's
that
always
again.
right when Bridget does it.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
she's good.
Yeah.
£38.96, £20 saving, 449,269. Something else for you to add to your baskets. We've got the mixed yarn bundle. You are getting 10 100-gram balls. Contents may vary, and it's £14.99. And again, you've got options.
So it's essentially the same options of yarn balls that you get with your loom, but these are without the loom. So if you want to add it on and bump up the bundle that you've got, then that's a great place to start.
That's great. Brights, neutrals, pastels, £15 saving. It's £14.99, 689,701. You've also got a set of 5 coming up. 5 100-gram balls. Again, contents may vary. So we've got the greens, blues. These are the naturals. I like the pinks, of course I do. Yeah. I like the red. I do actually like the red and orange. I see. I like that. You know, the fourth one along. I love that because it's like variegated.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. There's always a good mixture because we do try and get a kind of a really nice mixture of textures and, you know, some that are variegated, some that you can split out, some that are solid colours. Yeah. We do try and get as, you know, as good a mix as we can.
Lovely. £9.99, 719,288. And then I like this, a pom-pom taster set. I haven't made a pom-pom in years.
Now, these aren't normal pom-poms.
Oh.
These are flower pom-poms.
Right.
And this is what I am using now. Yay!
Cool. £9.99 then. So you're getting the 3 templates and 200-gram balls of yarn. So one will be bright and one will be neutral. So again, they'll vary slightly, but £9.99, 232,415. Okay,
it's just to give you a start, just to give you somewhere to try it out.
I like that.
So, these would normally be quite even, but I've been talking, so these are not as even as they could be. So, you start out with your 3 templates, which come with the bundle.
Yeah.
So, you've got one that's, let me see, 13 sides, which is the big one. One which is 10 sides, which is I think that's it's something deck based because tech is 10.
Right, yeah.
I think it's a decagon.
And
then you've got a 7 one-sided shape, which is a heptagon. I don't know what the 13 is though. So I'm answers on a postcard for that one.
What?
So what we start off with is we start off with these. Now, these are templates. It is designed so that you can draw around them on a piece of card and cut them out, because when you are going to make these, you are going to kind of destroy the bit of card that's in there. So don't use this. Cut a piece of cardboard out with it. And you've got 3 different shapes. You're going to make 3 different sizes of flowers. So this is a kind of a, I think it's a 4-ply, it's got a 3 or 4-ply yarn. This one's quite not too thick, not too thin, just somewhere in the middle. Where are you off to, my lovely?
Nowhere. We're trying to
she's
see.
trying to pronounce a 13-sided.
Tridecagon, I think.
Tridecagon.
Tridecagon. I think that's the 13-sided.
Thanks.
Well, you're welcome.
No, thank you.
Oh.
Okay, so I would say about kind of 20 turns on these. I have not been counting properly. And each of your 13 sides, you have a kind of flat side on. So you want to cover each of those 13 facets. Ooh, facets. With 20 turns. Okay.
It's just the way you went, ooh.
Facets. We like to get the big words in, don't we? Because it makes us think like we're clever.
Especially at this time of night. It's good. Yeah.
Oh, that's more than that. That's more than I need. Okay, so I'm going to stop there anyway. And then, once it's all on there, I am going to go and leave myself quite a generous piece.
Yep.
Generous.
Looks like
piece
spaghetti.
Of wool on the end there, and we're going to tie them off. I'm going to steal the needle out of this one. Oh. Fixed it.
You were getting really frustrated then.
Yeah. So I've got one with quite a big eye on here, because obviously to thread wool through. You can get kind of proper yarn needles or ones for crewel work. They work really well for this as well. I'm not doing a very good job of threading this.
Oh, we've had a question from Charlotte in Oundle.
Okay.
Yeah. Our producer. Go on.
Let me just...
Would these templates be a good add-on?
Yes, they would. There's a set of 27. So what the set of 27 does is it gives you 9 different shapes. So that's 13 sides down to 5 sides, I think.
Yeah.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yes. 13 sides down to 5 sides. And these will give you flowers in all of those sizes. I've got... Why will this not thread? I've got...
Would you like a minute?
Half an hour, it'd be smashing. I've only got one left to get through, but it just will not go.
You could do it, Hayley. Holly's just said we can believe in you.
Love a bit of needle threading on live telly, don't you? Well,
Oh,
you can
Holly's
get
gonna
really
be
close now, because
mean.
I've done it.
Oh, there you go.
No pressure. There you go, done. Well, fine. So, for each of these, the last one that we wrapped is the first one we're going to start on coming back around the other way. And the reason that you leave it like this with this kind of floppy bit and cut open is because it's a lot easier to wrap the wool round if it's cut. If you leave it as a complete thing, you're going to have to poke it through the centre all the time.
Time
so
consuming.
that's why we've kind of left it with a slit in. So these are all going to be different sizes, because I wasn't counting how many I did. And also because you've done it in cardboard, you can just bend it out the way.
Yeah.
And keep it out of your way while you're doing the other bits.
Such a good top tip, that.
Let me just get that properly out of the way. There we go. Bend it out of the way. So we start here. We take that to the bottom, and we're going to go through all of those ones at the bottom, pull it through, and then when we've got a little loop forming at the bottom there, we're going to take the needle up through that and pull it tight at the bottom. You don't want to go too tight, because you don't want to kind of start it bending over, but you just want enough to create that little knot. And we're going to do that 2, maybe 3 times. Now there's 2 different ways you can do this. I've got a sample where I've got both the top and bottom fixed. There you go. So now that's nice and tight there. You've got a really nice solid loop. So we're going to go all the way round and do all of them. Now you can do top and bottom, or you can just do the bottom, and you go all the way round, creating those. This is the one that is the same size as this, so this will actually form quite a tight, neat little flower, because you're going to pull it together. So I need a minute or 2 just to stitch the bottom of all of these, because that one I've stitched top and bottom. But I'm going to leave the tops on this one, just so I can show you a different effect that you can create with them. So I'm going to quickly whiz round and stitch the rest of these in.
Okay.
And you might have to do some numbers. You might have to do some work for a minute, if that's all right.
This is your nice taster kit, and it's $9.99. So you'll get the, what did I say it was? A tridecadon. Tridecadon.
That sounds like a...
It's a dinosaur, right? Yeah, I thought so. Tridecadon. No, tridecagon. That's it. Oh. Then a decagon, and then a heptagon. Oh, it's like being back at school, this.
I was going to say, how long is it since you've...
Yeah. Do you know, I swear, virtually everything I learned, I've just forgotten at school. It's that whole thing, if you don't use it, you lose it. French, I did really well in French, not a clue now. $9.99 anyway for those, and it's item number 232415. Righty-ho, you've got 2 options for the one-day special if you are just joining us. You have got your frame looms. I'm just going with it. You've got your heart, your oval, and also your cloud.
Oh, come on, you can't
My
fold out. If you've done tri-decker
My brain.
then
Do
you
know what
can't
it
fold
is?
down on oval,
Do you know what
can
it
you?
is? You know, my brain's there in that wool pile. Ah.
You know you're going to do it, aren't you?
What? Yeah. See, it
That's
won't go in. Right.
It's a shame we haven't got the scarecrow thing on anymore.
The scarecrow thing?
Yes, the Wizard of Oz thing. No brains.
Oh, yeah.
No brains,
I
only
should have been
wool.
cast as that, yeah. Right, to do this, you've got your cloud, your heart, and your oval. Right.
Well, it's getting to that stage. We've got to do this.
I am. I've got another hour to go, yeah.
Oh, dear.
And then you're going to get a lovely selection of your natural wool. Will vary slightly, but there you go. And then, oh yes, you're going to get your techniques book. And then the two options that you've got is the rust and the brown, or the rust and the grey of your lovely chunky wool. You can spread the cost, 2 payments of £24.97. Item number is 641147. Here we go. I've left my brains on top. It has my brains displayed. Please don't let us put you off this colour. It is actually a really, really nice colour. It is. Now, right, you've got a pick and mix. You can pick two 250
They were so
gram
nice
balls.
and neat before.
Oh, sorry, Sean. That doesn't look too bad from the front. Yeah. Oh, it's fallen down there. So you can choose from your pink, your navy. You've got a lovely teal, browns, greens, whatever you fancy. So you're picking any two for £16.98. 683012 is your item number. Oh, Charlotte's now calling them frame looms for me, and then I'll probably start saying it the right way round. You've got your diamond. These are all under the same item number. Your circle, then our oval. Next is the cloud, and the square.
Oh, my.
No, yes, octagon. And then your hexagon.
If you've got another hour, what state are you going to be in by the end of that?
Star and your rectangle. So there you go. I failed. Now I can't even be a children's TV presenter because I don't know my shapes. Yeah. All right. Charlotte's just had a phone call from a certain children's channel. No, we're not taking Alex on. No.
She failed on the square test.
Yes.
I mean, fair enough. The what was it? Tri-decagon.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fail on that one, but
not a
square, an oval.
I was good at maths as well at school, but now shapes have gone out the window. Oh dear. Right, so you can get a weaving bundle, but this time with fabric.
No shapes involved.
No, just, yeah. But you've got 800 grams here. You might get some patterned ones. You might get a bit of chiffon, organza maybe.
It's all about adding the texture
yeah.
of this. And if we've got, we might not have this one, but we'll do it tomorrow morning. We'll show you some really good tips to join fabrics as well. Because sometimes when you're working with fabric, it's all well and good, but you can only kind of get maybe the width of the piece that you've got. But if you can kind of join it together and make it into a long strip to start off with, then you're away from there.
£9.99, item number is 710924. And then we're moving on to our lovely frames, Loom Frames. Loom Frames, I did it. I'm just going to congratulate myself every time I get something right. You've got several different sizes. Plus you've got that they're little combs for when you're...
Yes. Can you remember?
No, I was going to say batting, but it isn't.
It might be batting. You've got me confused now. Shauna, could you just look in the instructions?
That's so funny. And it also has like little needles
I
like
think
this.
it might be batting.
Oh, it was
in the
right.
glossary.
Yeah.
Next page, beating.
That's it.
Beating them down, yeah. Yes. Shauna has confirmed that it is beating.
Ah. No, okay. What if I do this? I hope they don't all come
I'll just
out.
take the masking tape off,
Yeah.
and they'll fall out, but we can explain what was in the holes.
Yeah, some of them already have. Yeah, they're the little wooden needles, which I think are ever so cute.
But they're very useful as well as being cute.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
I don't just put them in there to be cute. No, they are really useful, especially when you are working on the looms. We haven't done the Heddle Bar yet. Okay, I'll finish this one quickly.
Now you've got 3 options in terms of the yarn balls that come with it. It's the brights, the naturals, and the pastel. Oh, I like the texture of that top one. That's nice. £38.96, £20 saving. You do bring us really good savings, Hayley.
Well, if I can get it at a good price, then I'm always happy to kind of pass it on. So yeah, we have managed to. We've got a very good wool supplier or yarn supplier who does us excellent deals, and we pass them straight on to you guys.
Ah, thank you. 449269 is the item number. Right, the flower pom-pom taster set. This is what Hayley is using. So you get those 3 little templates and 2 100-gram balls of yarn. One will be bright and one will be natural. £9.99. Item number 232415. We've got 27 sets of templates with all sorts of shapes that I'm not going to even attempt to tell you. You can just look at the picture. £17.99, a £7 saving, 424912 is the item number. You all right, Hayley? How are you doing?
I'm all good. I'm almost there. So all I've done is run round the bottom of here, and I've stitched in some little knots to the base of each of, you can see there, I've just gone all the way around, stitching in knots in the base of each of these. I've got one more to do, which I'll very quickly do now, and then we can take the cardboard away, because all of these should then be secured.
Lovely.
Well, actually, before we do take the cardboard away, so when I'm stitching through, I'm just stitching through the bottom, and I'm creating a loop.
Yep.
And then I'm going through the loop, and I'm doing that 2, sometimes 3 times. If I'm not happy that it's not tight enough, then I'll just put a stitch through the bottom and do it one more time, just to make sure that it's nice and tight. And the same principle as we had before when we were tying knots on the back of the looms. We want this knot to be tight, but we don't want it to be pulling this down. So now they're all done, I'm going to take the needle one final time, because I've got extra wool left on here, or extra yarn left on here I should say, and we're going to go through the base of each of these, and we just want to loop through all of those loops. Now I'm going to keep going. I should have picked one with less than 13.
Don't worry.
It's fine, we're going to be fine, because this, once we've got it all together, is going to kind of start coming together really, really quickly. So, come on. I'm trying to get 2 at once. I'm being adventurous now.
Yeah. Aside from tomorrow, because of the one-day special, are you in again this week?
I am in tomorrow for the one-day special. I've also got a Fabric Freedom Hour tomorrow.
Oh, as well, right.
And then I'm in for a couple of hours on Friday.
Ah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm right round. Yay! So, I'm going to then not cut this off. I'm going to leave it with the needle on, because we're going to need to just do a little bit of jiggery pokery later.
Okay.
And then I can rip through all of these bits of cardboard that are in between my petals. Now, if you want to do the top ends of these, you need to do them as you go along. So when you come along, you need to do bottom, then top of the same one, and then move along to the next one, because what you don't want is one big row of yarn round the top. And if you do that, that's going to give you petals that are more like this one, where they're fixed at the top. But we are going to have open ones, which is going to give you more of a daisy type feel. So once you've ripped all those, you're just going to slide those bits of cardboard out. So just fold them in. I usually just press them in half and then slide them out.
Yeah. Oh, it's looking really effective actually when you've slid it out.
Hang on. Slide them out.
Come on, cardboard.
Yeah, I think I might have stitched through the bottom of 1 or 2 of them. So you see, that starts to create your little kind of kind of petal effects,
Yeah.
really. Come on, there we go. I can totally manage to pull cardboard. If you can say all your shapes, then I can totally manage to pull 4 bits of
Yeah, but I
cardboard
can't
out.
say all my shapes, clearly.
Well, we're doomed then. We're doomed. I'm just trying to kind of leave it flat as I go so you can see kind of how it's coming together. Got a few more to get out. Definitely should have picked one with less than 13 in for demonstration purposes.
You know, for tomorrow.
I'll do one with like 7 in tomorrow.
Yeah.
What shape would that be, Alex?
Oh no, you just said what
It's a
shape?
heptagon.
Oh, right.
We're going to be here all night.
I know.
Okay, so now flatten it back out so I can see where we were, and then by just kind of holding your hand on it to keep it in place, if you just pull that extra thread that you had,
Oh, I like this.
you can create your little flowers, and then you can always layer them up.
Yes. It's like decoupage.
Yeah, decoupage for flowers. And then make tiny pom-poms to go in the middle. This is not a tiny pom-pom. I should have had a tinier one, but this one is the only one I have to hand.
That's funny.
A tinier pom-pom required.
Yeah,
But
that's fun.
you can make like the centre of them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't make them as kind of chunky and as full as that. I would kind of half wind them. Oh, hang on, I can probably use this bit of brown here. Have I got time?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, actually, I'm going to cut a piece off first.
okay.
I'm going to put that there.
Right.
You'll see why in a minute.
Okay.
Because then we're going to wrap this round.
I like watching these techniques.
Let me just unclick that one. There we go. Oh, get out of it. Okay. So we only want a little pom-pom. So now, because I've got that in my fingers already, I can pull that round to tie it, because it's sometimes, when you make the pom-poms on your fingers, it's very difficult to tie them
Yes, very much
and
so.
hold them at the same time. But because I've already got that round, I can then slide that off and tie that up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then you do it very carefully so it doesn't all spring apart. There we go. I'll just put a quick second tie on that, and then we'll cut this end and make a centre for this. I should have maybe picked more coordinating colours, but it's fine. Right, but I want it to be not a completely full pom-pom, so I'm going to trim that down just a little bit. I need to leave 2 ties on so I can take it through and attach it.
Cute.
And then that will go through the centre. And because you've got 3 sizes,
Yeah.
see if I can hold that up carefully, because I've not attached it together.
That's really nice.
But then to add that onto your weaving to create other embellishments, and you've got options to see the bottom is much fuller because I haven't cut any of those. Now you could cut those loops.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make a flower that's got a different texture, you could, or like on the one that's balanced on the top there, you can actually tie those together at the top to create petals. So there's lots of different techniques you can do with that one. We should do some more of that tomorrow. Have I got time to do a Heddle loom, a Heddle bar?
Yeah.
In a minute and a half?
Oh, yeah.
Of course I
You want
have.
to?
Right. Not if that is attached to that. Okay. So, Heddle bars. These are an absolute lifesaver if you are weaving. So, that one goes underneath. And then, if I slide it down a little bit and then just get it lined up, what will happen is it will push one set, there you go, one set up and one set down. So that means I can slide if I just turn it on the side a bit, you'll see a little bit more.
Yeah.
One set, alternate ones up and down. And then if I want to get the other set up, I flatten it and roll it the other way. Just get it on there you go. And it pops the other set up.
That's cool, isn't it?
So if you are doing, quite a big piece or quite a lot of weaving, then you can, it isn't working quite so well on this one because this isn't wound very, very tight. But it works ever so well for kind of helping you if you are doing larger pieces,
Right.
or you're doing a lot of weaving. And the selection that we've got today means that you can either have the standard warp threads, which are set on there. You can have double, or you can have half.
Brilliant stuff. Cool. Right then, £12.99 for that. We will see you tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
At 8
Not
o'clock.
matching tomorrow, though.
Not matching. Oh, okay, not a problem. Right, I don't know what's going to happen next. I can only apologise.